Hi, my name is Mark Casey, and I'm the manager for the U.S. Project Management Office for ITC. I'm here to talk to you today about a rollout of a global project management office. One of the first things that needs to happen in establishing a PMO is to determine who the leadership team is. It needs a sponsor, just like a regular project, and we have an executive steering committee with Patrick Krause being our executive sponsor. These are the folks who will help us in determining the direction for our project management office and resolving issues as we go along and supervising at a high level the implementation effort. Basically, the ITC PMO wants to be a supporting arm for the company's overall strategy. So, as you can see from our website, we have a company mission and vision, and that's exactly where the project management office comes in. We want to support that, and everything we do needs to be tied to that strategy. There are three main business problems that the PMO is designed to solve. First of all, quality bids on new business. We want to provide standards, support, and training for project managers, and of course we want to monitor our projects for problem areas and rectify those as quickly as we can. To ITC, project success means that our projects are on time and on budget, that we have sufficient margins, that we get repeat business with referenceable customers, and our project processes are global and consistently executed. We have to identify our stakeholders, which in this case are our clients and our entire company, because every business line will benefit from the success of the PMO and vice versa. The value of the PMO is that it enables an organization to deliver projects profitably. It reduces risk, it reduces process variability and error, it improves project quality, it enhances the project competencies of the people doing the projects, and most of all, it gives us a competitive advantage and increases our customer satisfaction. PMO vision is this: when it's fully functional, this is what it will look like. The PMO supports ITC's strategic objectives globally by working in partnership with executives, project teams, and clients to achieve consistently successful project outcomes and distinct competitive advantage. The PMO mission is to promote continuous growth in ITC project management maturity and provide the leadership and expertise in this area and standardize our methodology, processes, and tools globally across the company and provide consistent and reliable reporting of project status, financial health, and other metrics to ITC management. In establishing a PMO, we have to decide what type of PMO we're going to have. There are basically four types in the industry: a supporting, a controlling, a directive, and a workflow management PMO. And we have decided that the most appropriate PMO is the controlling PMO. This is the most common type that is established today. It enforces the methodology, policies, and procedures, but does not manage all the projects, but is very actively involved in those projects. Part of the foundation for a PMO is to determine what is the baseline, where are we starting, and then determine what metrics we will look at to determine how well we are doing. Several of those are listed, including the accuracy of our initial cost estimates and schedule estimates, the percentage of our projects completed on time and on budget, how compliant we are with our own methodology, and then things like schedule and cost variance, the quality of our deliverables, and the reduction in our risks. A very large part of the standardization that we need to go through is the implementation of our OUM methodology. And we call this integrated because it is integrated with the pre-sales process as well as throughout the entire process, all the way from initiation through closure of each project. The pre-sales integration covers things that in many ways are often found only in the initiation phase of a project, but we have moved many steps back earlier into the process in order that they might be established in the pre-sales activities. During the initiation phase, we see the activities such as putting the project management framework together, baseline risk assessments, quality planning, scope planning, and so forth, and ends in getting an approval from the client on baseline scope, cost, and schedule. During the inception phase, we gather business requirements, solution requirements, conduct our first conference room pilot, and then develop requirement specifications and eventually obtain approval on these baseline requirements. During the elaboration phase, we design architecture, test strategy, prepare environments, and all the things necessary to get us ready to begin the construction phase. This also ends with a formal sign-off from the client. During the construction phase, we finalize the requirements, prepare the final environments, implement the system itself, test it, conduct conference room pilot 2, and get ready to do the cutover. Again, obtaining sign-offs. During transition, we start out with the user acceptance testing, obtain formal sign-off on that. We do things like converting and cleaning the data, do change management with ourselves, with the client's IT support team. We conduct the end user training, and we obtain approval to cut over to production and then do so. At that point, the project enters a production phase, and we provide post-implementation support and then close out the project, obtaining final acceptance from the customer. Also part of the standardization, in addition to the methodology, is the deliverables that accompany that methodology. For example, we have a complete set of templates that go along with each step where required on the Microsoft Project Plan template. We've developed phase checklists, phase gate presentations preloaded for each phase of the project from kickoff through closure, the Microsoft Project Plan template itself, and a scheduling auditing tool. Then we also provide standardized training for Microsoft Project, both the basic and advanced course. We have a common repository for all the deliverables, for pre-sales and for the templates used in the projects themselves. We have those in multiple languages. We also have a common repository for our documents and other tools that will be used throughout our projects. There's a pre-sales library which contains all the deliverables for the pre-sales process, organized alphabetically and by customer. Likewise, we have all projects organized alphabetically and by customer. Then we have development tools, which are common tools used by nearshore and offshore teams. We have rosters showing developers and their skill sets, as well as their assignments. We have libraries that we can go to utilize and to save time. Part of our standardization includes standardized project status reporting. We're using a modified PJM 20 to produce a standard status report that automatically loads for you all the financial information based on your entries of the actual hours in the project, and it calculates the dollars and does variance analysis for you. This loads a dashboard which then appears on the project status report. Then, with the standardization in place, we're ready to roll out or implement the Global Project Management Office. This will include global training for project managers, the utilization of our methodology and project repository, conducting project audits or health checks, the utilization of our project reporting across all the regions, and then utilization of key performance indicators and metrics at a global level. These concurrent strategies all build to the point where we can manage our metrics, and we can use that information coming out of our reporting to do continuous improvement in our processes on an iterative basis. In keeping with that continuous improvement, we want to conduct a project management maturity exercise in which we determine our current maturity levels, define our stretch goals, the gaps, and then we implement the solution for the achievement of those goals. In a project management maturity model, you have different levels for each knowledge area of project management. For example, scope is one of the knowledge areas. Likewise, there are different levels of maturity in each of the other knowledge areas. Our job will be to determine our stretch goals for each one of those areas, and then to set priorities and set out to achieve those goals. We will then treat those like a project. We'll determine the gaps, and then we'll determine the steps that it'll take to close those gaps. And just like any project, we'll prioritize our goals or our requirements. We'll determine the activities required to achieve them. We'll sequence them. We'll get an estimate for the resources required, put a timeline together, and assign the resources, and then track those to completion. Thank you for taking time to take a look at this presentation. I'd like to invite you to contact the PMO if you have any questions, and also want to thank you in advance for your participation and cooperation in implementing this maturity model. Thanks very much.